Hey, what's up, my Go Getters? I want to welcome you all to the G Code podcast, where I give you the pretty, the ugly, and the grind to success, because we all know every story has yet to be told and everything that glitter ain't gold, okay? It is time for us to definitely make sure you get some G Codes. I'm yours truly, the host, the brainchild, the mastermind behind this. If you're first to the scene, I am ADRI.V, the Go Getter radio personality, of course, in 3 different places: Buffalo, New York, Rochester, New York, as well as Albany. And from time to time, you got a chance to hear your girl on Sirius XM. Now, I'm excited because on my radio show, I had an opportunity to interview Keke Palmer. She is like a true young boss, and most recently, she has embarked on a new journey of creating her own entertainment company. She just dropped this new single, Bossy, and I'm loving everything about it. So I wanted to share this interview with you simply because she dropped so many jewels within this interview, and I really believe it is truly connected to what we like to call the G codes, because she dropped so many G codes in her own life that I thought it was only right that you would get a chance to also listen and hear it as well. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the G code.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? This your man Troy from the Capital Music Group, and you are now tuned in with your girl ADRI.V, the Go Getter, on the G code.
Hello, how are you? It's Adri from BLK.
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. So, one, I gotta say thank you. You reposted my video when I was jamming out to Bossy in the studio.
Yes, girl, because you were giving me life.
Listen, your song gave me all the life I needed, because my show was like late night from 10 to 2. And when we dropped that joint, I was like, yo, she is talking. Did you just say I'm hood and I'm bougie?
Yes, girl. Yes. And I definitely did say that, because that's definitely me.
Listen, I enjoyed it all. So listen, welcome to the Go Getter Mix. It is clear that I am banging that Bossy nonstop. And the question is, so many want to know, where did this come from? What inspired you to drop this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, what inspired me was simply because I felt like it really not only was explained, like it really captured my personality, but also the time and place that I'm in my life right now, with what I did with my label, separating myself. I've been with 3 record labels throughout my music industry career. And for me, this is a time where I was like, you know what? I don't want to play in the system that everybody else has tried to put me in. I want to create my own. So I decided to create my own label. I decided that I wanted to title my album The Boss. And then this song came about, and pretty much it just fit like a perfect puzzle piece. And I was like, you know what? I got to drop this first and really, push it.
And I'm a huge fan simply because, just watching your journey from, just you're one of those women that just do it all. A phenomenal actress, clearly a great songwriter. You're out here singing. I've been rocking with you since, Aquila and the Bee.
Thank you so much.
And my favorite is Long Shot, because I play flag football, and like for the longest, I wanted to play football, right? And when that movie came out, it just like, there it go. You know what I mean? Our modern day icebox.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the movies, TV shows, as well as the music, which one really you gravitate to? Because you're good at everything. It's like you're a triple threat out here.
Thank you very much. I think what I gravitate to the most is a combination of both. I was really excited because I started doing Star, which is the lead show on Fox. It's about the 3 girl singers and stuff. And so he wrote me in this season, and my character is this singer, and she's very similar to me. She wants to do things differently. She's definitely this boss chick. And after I did Bossy for my album, I actually ended up hitting up Lee, like, yo, I think this song would be great for the show. I think it'd be cool if my character performs it. And, he was like, I sent him the record, and he was like, yo, this is the record of the season. Like, you have to perform this on the show. So I really am excited. March 28th is when the season premieres again. And I'm happy because I get to put both of those worlds together. I really, really love putting music with stories. I did that when I did my I Don't Belong to You record a couple years back. And the video, it was very cinematic and theatrical. So for me, I love doing everything at once, and I worked a lot with R. Kelly as well. He mentored me for a good 1.5 years before I started, like, really getting back into my music and being confident about it. He really took time to kind of help me rebuild my self-esteem in terms of music. And what he taught me was you should always use your ability to be theatrical and act in your performances as a musician. That should never be a separate thing because it helps tell the story. And, even when you look back at his videos with Ron Isley and, he did all that stuff with Trapped in the Closet, like he's always been theatrical as well. And so I think spending that time with him also allowed me to see that for me, it's just about being an entertainer. And, if I can put all my skills in one to entertain you, then that's what it should be.
Now, with you launching, your entertainment, your own business, Big Boss Entertainment, okay? Now, that name alone, like you said, you're bossing up. You got the song Bossy. What is the motive behind Big Boss Entertainment? Beyond just doing things on your own, what do you look to see and what do you plan to do with your label?
Right. Well, even with the title, Big Bosses Entertainment, it's bosses because it's not just about me being the boss. It's about me helping to create other young bosses, nurturing young people in the way that I feel, especially in the music industry, the way that they have not been nurtured since I'm thinking back to Motown and Uptown type of days,
Right.
So for me, having the actual experience of being in the system of the record labels, the majors today, and knowing what that feels like and how hard that can be on an artist and their vision and the ability to be creative, I want to create an atmosphere that allows them to also see that there's a different way of doing things, that there can be a family. You can have a team of people around you that help you to discover who you are and help you to find your sound, writers, producers, and actual A&Rs, people that are going out there and helping you to create what your theme is about for this album. How do you want to roll that out? Like, I really just want to create an intimate space where young people can feel like they belong to something that's positive and also powerful.
I love it. Positive and powerful, 2 P words. That's definitely necessary. Now, when you speak about, empowering the next generation, do you feel that this is like one of your passion, not even a passion project, but that's necessary in the midst of your calling because of you starting out at such a young age?
Yeah, I think it definitely is. That definitely is why, because I know how much time and effort people put into me and what they've given me, Queen Latifah and, the Ice Cubes and the opportunities and chances that I've been given. It definitely allowed me to understand and see the importance of giving back and also paying it forward. So for me, and also I don't always want to be the star. For me, it's not just always about me being in front of the camera. It's very exciting for me to be behind the camera too, and to again assist other people in the way that I've been assisted. My parents are people of service, and for me, I think that's how it should be. It's not always, the light is not always going to be on you. It's meant for you to emote and then share and help others learn how to share theirs.
Absolutely. A great man once said, if your hand is always open to give, your hand is always open to receive. And I feel like you're positioning yourself in such a way that, as much as you're giving, you're going to continue to receive. And speaking of, oh yes, absolutely, you're welcome. And speaking of receiving, you got some admirers out here. Chief Keef named a song after you. What was that feeling like when you heard about that? Because that's real cute. That's real cute. It's not like he's shooting his shot, but that's real cute.
Yeah, I really love. First of all, he's from Chicago,
right?
Because I'm from Robbins, Illinois, and very small town, and so for me, it just feels good when people from my city show me love and respect. And honestly, it just means a lot to me. I think anytime that it can be shown through art, your cultural influence, it's nature. I think I felt very, what's the word I'm looking for? Honored. Like, yo, that's what's up. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. And speaking of honor, inspiration, one of the things that's like rotating through social media that, I feel like I see posted on everybody's post was that time when you were at with Dr. Oz and you gave a very moving piece. You really shared some intimate words and great words of advice and inspiration. Have you ever thought about being a motivational speaker?
Definitely, and I actually just went and visited some colleges this past week, so that's definitely also something that I'm very, into and I love to do because, again, I've seen a lot in my life, but at the same time, I'm still very young. Mm-hmm. So for me, I think it's easy for me to communicate with my peers the things that maybe they aren't sure about or don't know about in terms of career and life goals. And then they're able to also give me that energy and influence in the ways that I haven't, because I missed out on a lot in terms of like school and, socialization in that kind of way.
Right. So
I really love talking to them and communicating with them because we both can offer each other something so different. And when it comes to Dr. Oz, it was right after I wrote my book, I Don't Belong to You.
Right.
And so I came on the show talking about that. And again, I just allowed the Spirit to speak through me. You know, I just came from an open place, and again, from just what I felt and what I know from my life experiences, and I just gave what I had. You know, it was this little thing called Oz Talk, similar to TED Talk, and I gave my inspiration based off of what it means and how it means to follow your dreams and to be of faith throughout your life.
Absolutely. And speaking of following your dreams, I know that road and that journey, because of course we all are on our own quest, you know what I mean? And
yes.
it's that journey is not always an easy journey, right? So along your journey,
no, it's not.
what do you think would be, you know, in my podcast, I talk about the pretty, the ugly, and the grind to success. You know, there's a story to be told, and everything that glitter ain't gold. You know, we see you flossing, being bossy on the gram, but nobody knows the nights that you stayed up crying. You know what I mean? So what would,
for real, they don't.
Seriously. So what would be, you know, some of the, we see the pretty, you know, we see you with your television show. We see you with the TV shows. You got your album. You're looking beautiful on these red carpets. But what were some ugly times that you had to get through, you know, that you had to fight through to keep you going? Because we all are in those places, but some of us don't believe that people like you deal with them, because all we see is the glam and the glitz.
Yeah, I think mental brick walls, you know, which is just constantly trying to recreate what you believe about yourself when you reach a point where you feel like you can't go forward. And that happens, I think, in major different stages in our lives, transitions that we have where we're trying to figure out if we're going to be able to go this way or that way. You know, coming from being an entertainer as a kid and then making that jump to also being able to translate my work as my new adult age and continuing to keep the brand and the fan base that I had from that time and pushing it over to, you know, like I said, as my adult. That was very, very difficult. And it was a lot of things that I felt were against me. You know, oh, am I going to just always be Akilah forever? Or am I going to always be known as True Jackson VP? And I had to say, you know what? I had to change the way that I thought about it. This is not a negative thing. To know that I created characters that I can live with and people can live with me for the rest of my life, this is a great thing. And here's an opportunity that I have to take those people. And don't think that I can't move it forward. Don't allow myself to believe that it won't come true, but I can also move them into these new characters in my older age. It doesn't have to be an end-all, be-all. And so it was I talk about this a lot in my book. It was all about changing the way that I thought. And I realized that the major difference between me and any of the people that I loved and wanted to be like and that inspired me was that they thought differently. It wasn't that they were more gifted or more special or any of these other little things that somebody might think. It was simply because they believed that they could, and they didn't allow the bad thoughts or the scary things in their heads stop them from making that jump.
Right. And when you talk about your thoughts, you know, like you said, your book, I Don't Belong to You, the quiet the noise and find your voice. And that's exactly what that is. And so, you know, with you being able to quiet the noise and find your voice, you know, within it, I talk about the G codes. We all got these G codes to life, the things that we measure ourselves off of and that we live by, you know, and you definitely just dropped a couple Jews. But what would be Keke Palmer's 2 top G codes that she lives by?
The foods I eat. I think people don't realize how much different foods will, like when you become aware of what you're putting in your body and how it affects your mind, even if, let's say, you're not eating perfectly, you'll be able to tell why you may be feeling a little more this way negatively than you would be positively, because the foods we eat really do affect what we think and feel about ourselves. And then also meditation and yoga. Learning how to be still. And this happens in all different frameworks. You know, you don't have to just do meditation and yoga, because I also do, you know, just simple prayer before I go to bed and have my conversation with God. And then my mom takes baths and just chills in the bath and allows herself to relax. But we need to take time to be still, because that's when God speaks to us. That's when we get the messages through our spirit. Sometimes you just be sitting there and you be just being still, relaxed, and all of a sudden the answer that you needed from last week comes to your mind,
right,
and you don't even know how it got there. You know, so being still and not always doing is also a G code of mine, because a lot of times we just get caught up in thinking that we have to keep moving, and sometimes the answer is just be still.
That's so true. I know for myself, because my whole motto is being a go-getter. You gotta go get it. You gotta go get it, right? And sometimes you ain't supposed to go get it. You gotta sit your butt down and really make sure you're centering yourself. So you're so absolutely right. And I'm so happy that you were able to quiet the noise, so that you were able to create this bossy. So as we just really step it right back into the music, tell us, when can we expect the album?
You can expect the album later this year, and hopefully you guys can also expect a tour, because that's really what I'm itching to get out there to, is really get out there on that road and perform. I haven't been on tour since I was like 13 years old, so that's something I'm very much so looking forward to. And the album is done, so honey,
Ooh.
To make sure that we got this rollout correct, because I got to give y'all, of course, some more videos, more high records, so I can be the whole shebang.
Absolutely. And who else can we expect on the album, or is this just a straight Keke show?
Well, it's mostly a Keke show, but I definitely got my boy Keke on there, and I also got the Migos on there. And those are them. I might get some more on a couple more records, but right now it's Keke and Migos.
You know what? Listen, because the way you kill Bossy, I am so excited and cannot wait to get, the rest of the album, because you murdered that thing. I was really when I was in the studio vibing and my interns caught me going in, I was like, do you hear what she's saying though? Like, can y'all hear what she's talking that talk?
Yes, honey, I'm definitely talking shit on there. Excuse my language.
I loved every bit of it. Now, of course, I know you got to go. I definitely kept you for a moment now, and I appreciate you for definitely stepping in and chopping it up with me. But, before, I always talk about, like you said, the next generation paying it forward. What would you say to them in this moment right now when it comes to them chasing their dreams?
To just never give up. And I know we hear that and it's very cliche, but I mean, at the end of the day, what do you have to lose?
Right.
Money and all these things are just investments. My bank account goes up and down with the investments I put into myself, but I always know at the end of the day that it came from a true place. I'm not putting it into these frivolous things that won't last. I'm putting it toward my future. I'm putting it towards the opportunity to build an empire for generations and generations of my family and, other people out there to believe in and be inspired by. So at the end of the day, whatever you believe in your heart, and it's coming from a true place, not a place of materialisticness, or if that's even a word, but if it's not coming from a place of, greed and, all that kind of stuff, then go for it. Put your whole heart into it, because you really have nothing to lose.
Well, my girl, Keke Palmer, so when you go on tour, we're going to have to make it a double. You're going to have to perform and then drop into a school near the concert so that you can talk. And make sure you add us, Buffalo, Toronto area to the tour list, because I got to be there and jam out to Boston. Okay?
You got it, girl.
All right, my go-getter. So I really hope that you enjoyed this interview from Keke Palmer. She dropped a lot of jewels, gave her some insight on a lot of things that she has coming up and why she do the things that she do. And I want you to take what she shared and see how you can also apply it in your own life and how it's fitting for you in your career, in your pursuits, and your goals. I'm always driving home dreams, goals, ambitions to you. And one thing she said that was so true, one G code, is being able to just calm yourself to listen and to figure out exactly what God is trying to say to you. Oh my goodness, that one hit home really hard for me. All right. Well, listen, I just want to say thank you so much for checking into the G Code. Please do me a favor. Don't be stingy. Share for the needy, those who absolutely need it. Go ahead and subscribe to the G Code on iTunes, as well as Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and YouTube, and all these other wonderful podcast platforms. Okay, make sure you share if you really care. And if you have a question, feel free to email me at ADRI.V at ADRI.V at ADRIVthegogetter.com. Just that simple. I feel like I need to create a G-code one, and maybe I should. Well, listen, my go-getters, you can catch a new episode of the G-code every Wednesday. I promise you I'm back on it, driving it and making sure I give you your weekly dose of an energy shot so that you can get up, get out, and go get it and give you that motivation that you need. All right? Well, listen, in true fashion, as always, I love you so much for checking in and listening, and welcome to the G Code. Be sure to subscribe to the G Code. Find it on iTunes. Also, download ADRI.V, the Go Getta app on your Google Play or in your iTunes App Store for free, and always have the G Code at your fingertips on a daily. Want to catch up on some of the G Codes as well? Go to www.ADRIVthegogetter.com and also subscribe on SoundCloud and YouTube. And remember, you can check a new episode out each and every Wednesday as we get you over the hump with the G Code.
I was born in the G Code, embedded in my blood. Matter of fact, you just triggered a level orange G-code security threat.
And that's the G-code, 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 G-code.